Megatron was right. You really are useless, Starscream.
Damn!
Heyo, it's GrandGoten. Welcome back to another video where we talk about a licensed video game. Today we'll be looking at Transformers Devastation, the, as of this video, latest video game in the Transformers franchise. Now, we all know what Transformers is, but for the small, uninitiated, the Transformers franchise started off with Hasbro buying up the rights of the Diaclone, Microchange and Micromen toy lines, and producing them for the North American markets, giving them a whole new basis of characters and storylines. Kind of like some other franchise that uses something from Japan and adapts it in its own way. If you want a better look at the Transformers history, lore, and specific characters, I'd suggest looking at Chris McFeely's The Basics. It's a great watch. Originally, I was going to go through Samurai Jack, Battle Through Time, but I decided to just pop in Transformers Devastation as it'd been a while, and I just knew I had to make it the next video. I ended up playing so much of it in such a small amount of time.
There's no
Samurai Jack review.
kiss there.
Devastation's story is set up into 7 chapters. In chapter 1, everything's peaceful in this city, which I assume is New York, until Insecticons and Giant Claws start attacking. The Autobots and Decepticons searching for what is the cause of this sudden upheaval. After Megatron escapes the Autobots following a few battles with himself and Devastator, it's revealed that the cause is from the Autobot ship, the Proud Star, which is now in Megatron's control. And his new plan is to use it to cyberform planet Earth to become a new Cybertron. Following in Chapter 2, the Autobots enter the Proud Star, where Prime exposits about the ship's original captain, Nova Prime, and his mission to use it to cyberform uninhabited planets, and that the Proud Star's supercomputer, the Ferrotaxis, contained history and culture of Cybertron that was lost to the Great War. The mission is now to shut down the plasma core that powers the Proud Star and stop Megatron's plan, causing a scuffle with Soundwave and having the security system eject the plasma core and do haste. Chapter 3 and 4 begin the wonderful little mini-arc I like to call the Plasma Core Chase. Can just be easily explained as this. The lads try to get the core, Blitzwing appears, stops that idea, Starscream appears, steals it. Megatron asks for his favourite BFF and double crosser to bring it to him, but it appears Mother Nature hated that idea and sent a storm to come stop him. Prime pals beat Motormaster to the core, Wheeljack attempts to stop the core's leak. Did I mention that during all of this it started leaking and caused a massive explosion? No. Double M, not liking losing, forms with the Stunticons to become Menasor, who just becomes an even bigger sore loser and does his biggest yeet and launches the core straight to Megatron, taking it to the space bridge to Cybertron just to be properly repaired. It's wonderful, but also feels like a complete waste of time. Chapter 5, in keeping up with the Decepticons, after a brief encounter with Starscream yet again and Shockwave, they find they're too late and Megatron has already got his Frank Welker speaking ass back to the Proud Star with the core and Ferrotaxis, ready to cyberform the Earth in one Earth day. With the cyberforming of the Earth taking place now, Chapter 6 has our Auto Boys return to the Proud Star to stop it. Apparently the repairs on Cybertron were terrible and done by the Constructicons, as the core is now going to potentially rupture and cause planetary extinction if it does explode, just to add on to the pile of issues that they're already dealing with. Optimus decides that to stop the core and the Insecticons, they need the Ferrotaxis, heading towards the Proud Star's control room. Rushing towards the finale, Megatron sends out all that the Autobots have faced, promptly giving each and every one a good thrashing. Yet again, they reach Megatron, but he escapes, yet again, and has them fight Devastator and Menasor, yet again. Following this though is 2 climactic battles on the surface of Earth against Megatron till he throws his normal lovely hissy fit and fires the Ferrotaxis into space, Prime using the Insecticons to launch himself up there, Megatron following suit, not wanting Prime to undo his wonderful work. After giving another smashing into Megatron's face, Prime learns that it's tampering with the Ferrotaxis. Probably wanted to have it run Doom or some shit. Prime decides the only way to stop it is just to destroy the Ferrotaxis itself and put an end to some of Cybertron's history and culture, telling his friends that now they must call the Earth their home and how they'll continue to protect it. After a lengthy credit sequence, we get Blueballed, with Nova Prime waking up within the Proud Star, setting us up for a sequel that will never happen. The plot itself is just standard Transformers fares. You know, go get the gimmicky thing of the week, beat Megatron, but it just ends up being Megatron's gone over there. And now he's over there. But now he's over here. But now he's just gone back there. Ah, we beat him though. It's fine. But now it's time to look at the gameplay, and it's that sweet, sweet Platinum Games goodness. Using standard light and heavy attacks to create destructive combo strings and finishes to lay waste to a single enemy or an entire group of them. Devastation hits those same feelings for me as Bayonetta 1 and 2, where every encounter, even with repeated enemy cycles, feels like a fun experience with the weapons and options at your disposal. If you dodge an attack in the last second, you activate this game's version of Witch Time, called Focus. Just a long string of attacks back or a well-placed counter attack, just to keep that combo going and increase your ranking. Unique to Devastation is the vehicle attacks. Dying in vehicle mode, or just using a standard combo in robot mode, just finishing off the combo allows your character to strike the enemy or closest enemy with all their might in their vehicle mode, and it just feels so satisfying to string those along. Alongside your melee attacks, you got a variety of range attacks to utilize, keeping combos going or just allowing yourself to remove some smaller groups of enemies with a well-executed shot. Coupling these in with melee attacks allows for Transformers Devastation to really keep its combat fresh and allow each encounter with bosses or enemies to feel fast, frantic, and just overall really fun. Each Autobot has access to their own ultimates and unique overdrive abilities. Ultimates all perform the same amount of things, just a massive amounts of damage to a surrounding area, but overdrive abilities are something a little spicy. Prime just gets to grab his trailer and swing that around and destroy everyone in the vicinity. Bumblebee's ability can be easily explained as just this.
I'm over there.
Sideswipe just yeets himself towards opponents just to keep that combo going. Wheeljack props him up for a shield that allows for an instant perfect focus block, but it's barely worth the effort if I'm going to be honest. And Grimlock does what Grimlock does best, and just grapples whoever's nearby. Even his dodge allows for a small window just to grab an opponent to tombstone them right into the floor. Now you'll see from the footage you can gain a number of different options for your melee and ranged weapons. Each basic variation of the weapons has an elemental type, which I suppose has some sort of effect on enemies. It hasn't made a difference for me yet. First things first, we just get our fist straight up bashing Decepticons' heads in, or just using some big old beefy wrecking balls for that pure euphoric feeling of smashing them right down from the sky. Or if you're feeling a little fancier, you can use Devastator's drills or cutter arms. Being able to be a drill that pierces the heavens towards your enemies is quite satisfying, really. Or using the swords. Devastation has quite swords aplenty, from the basic little slicey boys to iconic weapons like the Star Saber. Or while you could also just go for the dual swords that are available to pull off such intensely anime moves as the ranged slash attacks from Energon Dual Blades. There's also access to hammers, and for Prime only, axes. Hammers are just really slow, but they rack up the damage something fierce. And Prime's own axes just act more like a normal blade, really. There's nothing too unique except only Prime has them. Nobody else. Not allowed. Ranged weapons come in a lovely variety, from heavy to light blasters, just to get that job done. For more short-range weaponry, we've got the scatter shots that just love to interrupt enemies when they can. There's lasers just for that long burst of damage, and unique weapons such as the loudspeaker, just to mess with an enemy or a group of enemies just to get your attacks in. Each bot do be slightly different to suit your playstyle. Personally, I like sticking with Prime or Bumblebee, but really, they've got a lot to offer for whatever floats your boat. Prime is the all-rounder. He's equally balanced at everything. Bumblebee is more about the speed. What he lacks in power he makes up for in really quick attacks and being able to do 2 vehicle attacks in one combo. Sideswipe is more about hit and run. He likes to keep moving, keep smacking, and keep going all the time. Wheeljack seems to be more about ranged and a defensive approach. I don't play as Wheeljack much often, but his vehicle attacks are unique enough where he shoots first, then slams later. Grimlock I feel is more slow, but he backs that up with a massive punch compared to the rest. Unique to him though is that his Dino mode actually has its own combo threads and finisher attacks, which surprisingly opens him up a lot more than I expected initially. Now we could just appreciate how lovely this game looks, taking that G1 aesthetic and just overloading it with charm and love that G1 always initially received.
I feel the same way about you, Nitro.
Loves to receive now, I mean. The levels all pop from the cityscape in the morning to the sunset to even the sudden storm breaking out. Even the dreary portions of the Proud Star and the majesty of space for that whole one time you fight there. Hell, even the space bridge itself when fighting Starscream looks fantastic, even if a little disorienting during his initial boss fight. Voicing our titular bots, we have most of the cast from the 80s cartoon itself returning. So, Peter Cullen, no matter what, even in the Bayformers movies, always pulls out a stellar Optimus Prime. It's just fantastic through and through. Frank Welker, our resident voice acting legend, brings it in with Megatron Soundwave. He sounds absolutely perfect. Dan Givelzan, bringing it back as our favourite yellow boy, Bumblebee. He's just great, keeps that Bumblebee charm going. Michael Bell and Greg Berger are still fantastic as Wheeljack and Grimlock respectively. And the rest of the cast, such as Scott White, does a great job as Starscream, and we even have Steve Bloom and James Arnold Taylor sneaking in as Bone Crusher, Menasor, and an assortment of ground soldiers and seekers. Transformers Devastation is a fantastic hack and slash by Platinum Games that I believe anyone should just give a try. It's quite short but insanely replayable. Just a nice love letter for Transformers fans and a great title to add to Platinum Games' library. It's since now been delisted from online stores due to Activision's contract with Hasbro expiring, but if you can see it physically, I would highly suggest picking it up. Please like, comment, tell me what I'm doing right, tell me what I'm doing wrong, or if this video was any improvement over the other, or just to suggest a licensed game to go look through, and as well, subscribe.